Rizrak, checking in. All's quiet here. Huh? No use hiding. Sounds good. Huh?
Oh no. He's got me. I'll check his pockets. Nothing.
The door won't open. Doors are locked. I need assistance.
This is a Taser Model C2CEW. It really packs a punch, and will render its target incapacitated for the night. Equip the taser as you would any item in the girl's inventory.
Taser.
Another quiet night.
Good idea. My battery
Raise
is
the
running
threat
low.
level.
They won't find me in here.
Welcome to my domain. Sorry to see you go.
Put this in the box. One of the great terrors of literature is its ability to touch a reader's unspoken experience. But you understand, librarian. A Republique requires peace between its citizens. Animal Farm gives voice to bigoted trends we must erase. Its laws separate citizens into different body types. Those with 2 legs, and 4 legs, and wings. It's a short jump from this fiction to realizing that you've never liked the color of your neighbor's skin. This one belongs in a cage. Can you believe that many regard Whitman, the iconic poet of the American Republic? That alone says enough. This verbal monument to sensuality and excess, you know that no library except Philadelphia would touch it after publication. Reading it is like watching the man stroll naked through the streets. I, too, sing the body electric, though perhaps more forcefully than even Whitman could enjoy. Japan had the sense to try and then fine a translator for dragging this garbage into Japanese. Out there beyond our walls, Lady Chatterley's lover has a reputation as sidekick to hormones in adolescent awakenings. Puberty is a delicate time. We need to cultivate it as a plant in a garden. We cannot teach them control with this floating around. I assure you, we know better than Lawrence. The body is strange, librarian. Oxytocin and endorphins lead so many to mistake robotic chemical responses for emotional attachments. Worse, though, is what Burroughs promotes. He suggests deviant behavior as a mechanical way around the trappings of societal control. We cannot let people think their bodies are ways around the state. They must exercise the Republique with their bodies in everything they do. Everything. Throw naked lunch in the pile.
Gravity Rush is secretly one of the most innovative games from Japan in the past few years. I love everything about this game, the thrill of its gravity-defying platforming, its twisted Parisian aesthetic, and even the name of the heroine's black cat, Dusty. You may not know a ton about Japanese culture, I'm an expert. But Gravity Rush is called Gravity Days in Japan. That's so much cooler. A modern game with all the trappings of a great 90s arcade cabinet, mutants, post-apocalyptic environments, killer co-op. I like to imagine nuclear throne machines lining every laundromat and corner store, disaffected youths pushing grannies out of the way, placing quarters to claim their spot in line. The developers at Lambeer are the true wasteland kings. Destiny was my favorite jam of 2014. I just want to live in a tight fantasy sci-fi world, blasting away at enemies, dancing in the tower, and taking a breather while in the majestic aurora of orbit. Destiny is the rock and roll of games today. Even its stiff-necked detractors are quietly tapping their toe to its infectious beat. They call Super Hexagon a Twitch game. I doubt even Doc Holliday had quick enough reflexes for this one. I've never gotten farther than 3.5 seconds. It's intense. I don't know if that's because it gives me vertigo, or because of the ominous lady shouting game over every time I die. Don't let creator Benjamin Rivers serenade you with lies about how this game is just a sci-fi romantic adventure. I know what Alone with You is really about. It's about the time video games were going through an existential crisis, driving around in a Trans Am, feathered mullet blowing in the wind, rocking that new CD player and not truly knowing who they are, or why they're here, or what that disembodied voice is telling them. And that's a beautiful thing. When I play Kentucky Route Zero, I'm transported to my childhood. I can smell the coffee-stained computer in my father's home office. Conway's surrealistic point-and-click adventure is something best experienced on a quiet Sunday morning. As the sunlight pours into the room, I wonder when the developers at Cardboard Computer will release the next episode. I don't mind waiting though. Every new episode is a gift.
Welcome to my domain. Sorry to see you go.
quiet tonight.
Let's see what he's carrying. Got it.
Sounds good.
Consumers don't know what they want, or at least that's what a bunch of corporate executives tell themselves every day. In the case of 2D Venia games, most publishers stop funding these so they can focus on crappy mobile games for babies. Thanks to bold indie developers like Tom Happ and Axiom Verge, we don't need no stinking corporation to make the games we want.
Nothing. Got my post secure. What the?
Prisrack. Neutralized.
My eyes!
Going in for the steal. He's empty.
Such a display of finality is premature, don't you think?
Derringer doesn't think so. Either that kid's long gone or he's a skeleton in a wall somewhere. Either way, leaving his stuff laying around will only be a distraction.
And this is not. You want our wards to focus on the arrival, and not the poison in those manifestos, correct? Then perhaps such a public celebration of the boy's ability to elude us is counterproductive, no?
Bring up the threat level.
The boys' side of the commissary. This is where wheat beats.
Though this email doesn't mention it, we all know it was the librarian that slipped those poisoned manifestos to the kids.
This is Central. Derringer's folks distributed the new allotment of tasers last night. With all the added precautions because of the arrival, he insisted they be stowed in the lockbox for safekeeping. Passcode is 4118. And watch your step. If you thought the old ones had a kick, you really don't want to be on the business end of one of these new models. Threat level normalizing.
Why are they spying on the boys? I'll hold on to this.
The girl has found one of the banned books. The overseer has banned many books inside of Metamorphosis. As the poor librarian upstairs once said, it is better to ban a book than to burn it. Talk about taking lemons and making lemonade. I wonder if there are more books like this one lying around.
Pasternak, in the Soviet Union, wrote a book critical of the October Revolution. Can you think of anything more stupid? Beyond that, Zhivago and Laura cuckold a servant of the state, and Pasternak has the gall to ennoble their sin as a mystic union. The worst form of physical love, betrayal, is favored over the physical sacrifice of a soldier for his country. I despise freewheeling artists, librarian.
I've never been over here before. We're not allowed. The headmaster calls it separate spheres.
Everything looks good. Everything looks good.
Let's see what he's got on him. I got something. I'll be taking this.
Sounds good.
This broke.
This old-school boombox is ideal for playing back any audio cassettes the girl finds. Zager called this photo the perfect metaphor for our times. Zager was always inspired by uprisings. He hoped to inspire those inside Metamorphosis to rise up in similar fashion. The first photograph Zager ever took. There's an interesting story behind it. He told of it in his version of the manifesto. Zager's altered manifesto was still a work in progress at the time of his death. Half turn-based RPG, half Viking soap opera, the Banner Saga really has no business existing, which is why it warms my cold gamer heart that my fellow gamers kickstarted this game into existence. The team at Stoic delivered on their ambitious promises, and helped prove that us gamers can spot a hot new IP even when big publishers cannot.
God, this collar. Itchy, man. It's got me scratching like a flea-bitten dog in a patch of poison oak. Not to mention, I've got this clicking in my head that I just can't seem to shake. Bet you the overseer probably put a chip in my brain. Now it's malfunctioning. Figured forcing everyone to wear a collar wasn't enough, so he decides to tag us, too. I have got an epic case of cabin fever. I think maybe I'm going crazy. Crazier than usual. I gotta get out of here. I tell you, my mind, it's melting. It's dripping out of my ears. It's all this technology, this invisible energy. It's cutting right through me every second of the day. Wi-Fi is killing me, man. It's cutting me down slowly. There's no way to turn my brain off, and no way to keep this guy's gray matter a secret from his prying eyes. Because he's psychic. No, don't say that. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. He has 1 billion cameras in this place, that's all. 1 billion cameras. And they're all aimed at me. better if they were guns. You know, I'd kill myself if I thought it'd keep him from reading my thoughts. But he'd probably just dig up my corpse, plug out my spine, and shove it into some computer. Is that even possible? Can people really do that yet? Oh, God. My only choice is to keep drinking. Just keep drinking until my mind resembles an overcooked asparagus. I think I'm halfway there, I think. Every brain cell I drown is one less piece of evidence that bastard's thought police can turn against me. Booze is the best degaussing gun. Okay, I gotta go. Remember, don't trust me. Not even anyone. Zager here. I want to apologize for the recent radio silence, but lately there's been a special project occupying my time. See, I'm taking the old man's manifesto and I'm making a few changes. Treglazov may think his words are gospel, but I think he could use an editor. So I'm touching up those beautiful lies with a little ugly truth. All you gotta do is read between the lines. I gotta say, it's actually been easier than you might think. You can't swing a dead Prizrak without hitting a stack of manifestos in this place, so no shortage of raw materials. Oh, and if you're wondering about distribution, well, all I can say is there's a few sympathetic parties down here willing to scatter these new and improved copies around, like drugs on a schoolyard. Good luck rounding them all up, Derringer. Oh, and Treglazov, if you're listening, and let's be honest, you probably are, then know this. The damage is done. My marked up manifestos will soon go into circulation. They will be read. They'll be passed around. Eyes will be opened. Minds will be blown. And there will be no going back. You can't stuff the back in this Trojan horse. So happy reading. This is Zager saying to you, don't trust anybody. Not even me. Oh, but read my book.
quiet here.
I'll check his pockets. He's not carrying anything.
Sign of the girl. All quiet here.
I'll take this.
Voltaire suffers from the core flaw of satire. He manifests the very villainy he intends to lampoon. Do we want the women in our Republique to believe themselves currency in Voltaire's economy of sexual exchange? Intended or no, this preserves ancient viciousness against women and would justifiably lead half our citizens into unproductive rage. Customs agents across Europe once refused Candide passage. We must persevere where they have relaxed.
What have you got?
domain. See anything you like. Come back anytime.
Good idea. My battery was running low. Let's see what he's got on him. I got something. Let's go for the steel. He's not carrying anything. An old Zager cassette.
Wanted. Well, Derringer and the Overseer got what they wanted. A trophy kill. I'm surprised they didn't drag Zager's body through the facility as a warning to all of the would-be revolutionaries.
Going in for the steel. Got it. I'll check his pockets. Nothing.
The fall is so immersive, I find myself thinking like the protagonist while I play. Let's say I was a sentient Asimov AI, embedded in the suit of a space pilot critically injured in a crash landing. Would I reject my directives and fight for my life? Frankly, it's a dilemma best explored within the confines of the game. The eerie parallels to our current predicament are not lost on me. The box that I keep my video game cartridges in. If I ever get my games back, I'm going to store them in a more secure fashion. Well, when you ask me nicely like that, as a reminder that Kickstarter is, and will forever be cool, I hang this Shovel Knight poster proudly. Derringer asked me how much money I wasted on this DFA poster. I said it was $10. I lied. Turns out it was $250 on Kickstarter. Worth every penny. The great thing about Kickstarter is that we can bring back classic games from the past. I remember playing the Shadowrun pen and paper game in my parents' basement. It was kinda fun. I hear it's much better when you play with other people. I was given this award for my loyalty to the Prizrak. Ironic, given the current circumstances. They also misspelled my name.
Cooper, I went looking for you earlier in your little woman cave over there. I shouldn't need to tell you what I found was entirely unacceptable. You were given the added task of overseeing the surveillance monitoring program, because I thought you were man enough to handle the responsibility. However, now that I've been exposed to all that in your office, I'm forced to reevaluate my decision. This is a severe behavioral disorder, Cooper. And in its own way, as screwed up as anything Zager tried to do. I expect you to fix this lapse in judgment before I have to come back with a hammer and a trash bag.
This is an early prototype for a weapon Derringer insisted we need in Metamorphosis. With Zager dead, I'm not sure who Derringer thinks we're at war with, but he bought 5,000 of these things with money from our annual food budget. Hopefully, they are edible landmines.
If ever there was a flawed prophet, it was Huxley. His world state gave its citizens freedom to cavort in pleasure as a distraction from political activity. But look at the 20th century's sexual revolution. Sexual curiosity leads to self-ownership, which invariably results in dissent. Parents of the Midwestern United States are right to force this from high schools. Even if the wings of a bird are faulty, their trajectory may still be true.
Onto this. I'll hold on to this. Good idea. We can recharge here. Look, pepper spray.
Welcome to my domain. Care to purchase new abilities? Monitor prisoner patrol notes. We'll lure Prizrak away from the trolls. Come back anytime.
Left some items behind.
Nabokov, a pornographer, whose sins surpass even pornography. Humbert, the moral straggler, does not enlighten. His aesthetic tantrums for nymphets merely confuse. Lolita proffers that the sex drive is bound to perception of beauty, all bound in craven lust for a child. If such a wretch is allowed speech, all manner of perversions will romp through our facility, and with that the twin demons of subjectivity and dissent. Lock it up.
The team at Supergiant quit their cushy corporate jobs, moved in together, and cranked out this seminal indie action game. Bastion is not only worth playing because of its strong narrative and action RPG elements, but because it was an early victory in the independent game revolution. Bravo, kid.
A cassette. Screwdriver just broke. Oh no. And we're so close. There's too many of them.
Body scanners do not cause cancer. Metamorphosis doctors say fears unfounded. That's a good strong headline. Go print it before we're told otherwise. Say, which do you think would rile the citizens more? The fact that these machines do indeed cause cancer, or the fact that the naked images they capture are being turned into playing cards for the perverse amusement of the Prizrak?
The Overseer seeks to erase nudity from art, even as his body scanners create these vulgar portraits. They don't save the images. LOL. Howdy, partner. It is me, Cooper. I'm feeling pretty confident since I have gotten you this far. I have a plan to get the girl through the library's security checkpoint. But first, you must proceed to the power station. I will explain there. Look for the power station waypoint in OmniView.
Almost got me.
Cooper here. Now is our chance. Derringer just entered the library's security checkpoint and is fired up about something. Let's see what is going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I'm heading to you now.
Good evening, sir. Watch your step. You may enter the machine at any time.
Are you always an idiot, or just when I'm around?
Sir.
What's your number, you stammering waste of space?
Sir,
I'm not going into that thing. Now, we've been over this before. Turn it off.
But, sir.
Turn it off, or you'll wake up a month from now in the infirmary.
We have to get Derringer and the other Prizrak out of that room. I suggest we create a little chaos in the spirit of Zager. Tell the girl to power down the grid. Then, Derringer and the Prizrak will freak out. They'll leave the security checkpoint. Then you can send the girl through safely under cover of darkness. Power down the grid now.
Tampering with the generator again? I smell a rat. Well, don't just stand there. Alert all Prizrak in the area. Get them to the power station. That means you two done.
But sir, who's gonna man my post?
Damn it, stop asking questions and go.
Was this your plan?
Oops. Okay. So that's not good. It appears my plan has backfired. I should have thought this through better. Now, you must get the girl out of there before Derringer's men arrive. Sorry about all that. That plan did not go down as I hoped. But, the good news is that we have cleared out the library's security checkpoint. It is safe to send the girl through now. Well done, my friend. That was impressive. Sorry about the screw up back there. I guess I got a little overzealous. If you need my assistance going forward, I will be happy to oblige. But, it seems you are better suited to helping the girl escape than I am. If you succeed, make sure she doesn't forget about us pathetic souls trapped down here. Best of luck. Cooper, out.
I owe you my life. What little of it is mine. Now let's get to the librarian. He'll help us. Please, stay with me.
Who is this?
If you're going to kill me, just get it over with.
Shut up! If I actually wanted you dead, I would have given you to Derringer earlier. Now walk slowly forward, ahead of me, and do not turn around. You are part of something that you cannot understand. There is more going on tonight than these cameras can capture. You took something that belongs to me. You called this interloper and brought them into our Republique. And I will find out why.
A broken collar. The precal who wore it was also broken by Mireille, and that was before the Prizrak got their claws into him. Derringer has a server with the nude images of every poor soul who stepped inside that body scanner. Except for Derringer himself, of course.
Look at me. Honest eyes do not hide. Murray Azali Prideaux, July 14th at 0158. Dissection of a precal. Okay. State your name. Murray Azali Prideaux. Dissection of a precal.
Some doors in Metamorphosis require voice recognition data to open.
Hope.
State your name.
390H.
Very good. Quit shaking. I'm going to ask you some questions in French. I find your English to be too clever. Des mots habiles peuvent camoufler la vérité. Tu sais ce qui arrive quand on ne dit pas la vérité. Qui t'a donné le journal de Zaguerre?
Je ne peux pas vous le dire, madame.
Menteuse! Qui t'a appris cette arrogance? Est-ce que ce traître a un nom? Comment est-ce qu'il t'aide? Qui a piraté notre système? Qui a attaqué nos prises-rack? Qui t'a donné l'ordre d'attaquer nos prises-rack?
Je ne peux pas vous le dire, madame.
Après tout ce que nous avons fait pour toi,
You watch me.
we look out for you.
You lock me up.
We protect you.
From what?
Yourself. The world beyond those walls is dead. And the ones who killed it would not hesitate to do the same to us. We survive only because they do not know we exist. I pray you have not doomed us all, child. What do they know? What do they know about our Republic? Que savent-ils sur notre République?
Everything. Whatever you do to me, they'll be watching.
You are late. I found a precal here who has lost her way. There was no need for that. This one, I believe, will go quietly.
She'll call you back.